near her feet. A faint pressure, like fingertips or a drifting edge of darkness. Claire bit her lip and forced herself awake, the cold taste of fear flooding her mouth. She didn't blink again until morning. The next day, she searched for answers online. Sleep paralysis, hallucinations, ghosts. None of them matched what she was experiencing. On an old paranormal forum, she found one short message that made her palms sweat. If the shadow waits at the foot of your bed, it's not trying to scare you. It's waiting for you to fall asleep. They only move when you blink because they feed on the moment between sight and darkness. Never let it reach your headboard. Claire slammed the laptop shut. Too late. On the fifth night, the shadow wasn't just standing. It was breathing. A slow, deliberate expansion and contraction, like the darkness itself was inhaling the room. Claire held her breath and stared. Her eyes felt dry and hot. She couldn't keep them open. She blinked. When her eyes opened, the shadow was at her bedside. The space around her grew cold. Something brushed against her cheek, so faint, like the touch of a cold whisper. Claire stayed awake till morning, shaking. She confronted Mrs. Pembry again that day. "There's something in my room," the woman sighed. "I hoped it wouldn't choose someone again." Claire stared at her. "What happened to the last person?" Mrs. Pembry hesitated. "They saw shadows too. It got closer, every night. And then one morning, the room was empty. The bed was still warm. The door was locked from the inside." Claire swallowed. "Where did they go?" The landlady's eyes lowered. "The shadow takes what falls asleep." That night, Claire tried everything. She slept on the couch, in the hallway, in her car, in a motel. No matter where she went, the moment she closed her eyes, even for 1 second, the shadow appeared at the foot of whatever she was trying to sleep on. She realized with a cold, sinking dread, it wasn't the house. It was following her. On the final night, Claire set up cameras and lights and alarms. She wasn't going to sleep, and she wasn't going to blink. The moment she turned off the lamp, the shadow appeared. She stared at it. Minutes passed. Hours. Her eyes burned. Blinking became more frequent. Each blink brought the shadow closer. Foot of the bed. Side of the bed. Knees. One blink too long, and suddenly it was leaning over her, inches from her face. She could see into its darkness now. Not eyes, not a face, just a swirling void, reaching toward her. A cold hand of shadow pressed to her chest. Something heavy filled her lungs, like darkness seeping into her. A whisper slipped into her mind. "Sleep," she fought, clawed at the blankets, tried to scream, but darkness pressed against her mouth. "Sleep." Her eyelids grew heavier. "Sleep." Her consciousness faded like a candle burning low. The last thing she saw, in the moment her eyes flickered open, was the shadow pulling her into itself. And then Claire Morgan vanished. The next morning, Mrs. Pembry knocked on Claire's door. No answer. She opened it to find the bed neatly made, the air unnaturally heavy, and the room completely empty, exactly like the last time. She sighed sadly. At the foot of the bed, a new shadow stood, taller than before, still, waiting. Later that afternoon, a new tenant arrived with a cheerful smile and too many bags. "I'm renting room 3, he said. Mrs. Pembry forced a smile and handed him the key. As they reached the door, she gave him 2 quiet warnings. "Don't stay up too late, and whatever you do, try not to blink."